Hey everybody, this is the author Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15, as we typically do every first and third Wednesday, a little bit after 1 o'clock. We take about a quick 10 to 15 minute time to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note, a couple of announcements, and then close out and get you about your day. On the second and fourth Wednesday, we go on a little bit later at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To make sure to stay connected with me, make sure to add me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton. You may add me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Author A. Snorton. And you may also email me at authorsnorton@gmail.com for info, updates, words of encouragement, bookings, our coffee partnership with Fonte's Coffee, and things along those lines. And as always, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you for taking time to pause, check up, check in with us, and close out on a positive note. As many of you know, this all started during COVID, April 1st, 2020. And the whole point was, hey, look, I'm kind of cooped up a little bit, been out of shape. I know other people are, so let's just have a space where you can kind of pause and breathe. And we've been at it for about 3 years now, so many thanks to everybody. Also, as you know, the first Wednesday of each month is where I pick a selection from another author, which encourages me, inspires me, and hopefully it encourages and inspires you and others. So I'm really excited about today's selection. I have to go way back on that bookshelf to go ahead and get that for you. But before we get into our reading, as we always do, we always want to take a moment to encourage people, you know, if you're doing well or if you're struggling. So I know there's some people that are out there going through, you know, some challenging times. All of us have different things that we're still working on, but sometimes it can get a little bit overloading and overwhelming for people. So if you're one of those people who's a little bit overloaded and overwhelmed because of things going on, you know, with your health, physical and mental, if there's things going on within family, your job, your you know, those of you who are in business for yourselves, relationships within the community, or just general stress and frustration. I'll say you have every right to feel some kind of way, because we are human and we are going to go through the entire range of emotions. But a bigger right you have is to take what time you need to pause, to reboot, to re-strategize, to see if what you're going through requires professional help, and there's no shame in getting professional help. If what you have to do means changing up your routine or your diet or your workouts or whatever, do the constructive things that you are aware of, or find out about constructive things that will help you pause, pivot, and proceed in as positive a manner as possible, because there are people who need you, people who are counting on you. You know, on the flip side, we know there's good things happening to good people. I just got off the phone with a good friend of mine who is expanding business-wise. She's in a good space professionally and personally, so you're excited about that. And there's other people who are experiencing some positive growth opportunities, you know, professional, community, personal achievement, things along those lines. So we definitely want to applaud you and celebrate you. And you should celebrate yourselves, because you know what you've been led through in order to get, you know, to where you are. But make sure to do it in just enough moderation, so use it as more of a springboard instead of a shutdown spot. And again, of course, keep in mind other people that might not be doing so well, so you can lend an encouraging word, and they'll be likely to lend you an encouraging word. So that's our little pause and perspective for the day. Now, the reading I'm going to pull from, as many of you know, this month is National Poetry Month. And so while later in the month I'll drop some of my gems, I wanted to pull this real, I don't know if they still make this or not, maybe, but it's called Gumbo, which is a collection or an anthology of African-American authors' writings. This is what it, hold up. Okay, this is what it kind of sort of looks like, but this is a big old book. No, my brothers and sisters, you have to get your own. But I want to read this portion, this quote, that is pulled from one of the authors that's featured in here, Bryan Gibson. And sometimes, you know how I said, sometimes the most powerful words are sometimes the shortest statements. So this is a selection that he uses for his piece called Fear of Floating. But I want to read this quote to you because it really, it says a lot. It's simple, but it says a lot. So here it goes. And this is taken from Edward Gibson's The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, but it's included in Bryan Gibson's piece, Fear of Floating. And I'm going to read this quote to you. Conversation enriches the understanding, but solitude is the school of genius. Read that one more time. Conversation enriches the understanding, but solitude is the school of genius. So when I think of that quote, when you're talking with other creative minds or what have you, you set yourself up for getting a better grasp of whatever topic is going on, whatever subject area. People can put, their viewpoints, their insight to help you see the bigger picture. So conversation and discussion are definitely needed. But you think about those creative ideas and that creative genius, and that's where you do need to spend time alone. So time alone could be, putting yourself in your office or your study, but time alone could be when you go for that walk in the park, which a number of you know that I love walking. Some of it could be that walk in the park. Some of it could be just putting those headphones on and listening to instrumental music, whether it's jazz or classical or instrumentals of your favorite songs. So when I think about the adage walk and chew gum at the same time, yes, there are times we need to be around other people, bounce ideas off. So now maybe you see a point of view that you weren't aware of, and that can help you in regards to where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do. By the same token, you do need time alone to pause, think, I'll say pray, meditate, clear your head so you can start putting everything together. So I definitely like this quote, which is taken from The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Edward Gibson, but it's incorporated in the piece Fear of Floating by Bryan Gibson. So definitely want to thank both of those for helping drop the gem. And the larger book is this anthology of African-American writing, Gumbo. So here it is. So this is what the book looks like. I don't know if the price point is the same as it was back then, but it's definitely something that's can be helpful. So as we get ready to kind of pause and pivot on a couple of items, join me on Instagram Live today, April 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be a guest on ID 104, hosted by Lily Mae, The Collective, as we'll have probably a good 15-minute or so talk about all the books, audio books, the coffee collab with Fonte's Coffee, which is the author Andrew Snorton blend, and upcoming events. So make sure to check me out. I Am Rooted LLC. I tell you what, it's great working with some amazing people there. Mark your calendars for the Thursday leading into Memorial Day weekend, which will be May 25th, for Sip and Flow, as this is a quarterly series where you get your ticket, come on out, you're able to paint, you're able to enjoy a little sip, a little snack, and just have a fun time leading into your weekend. So that'll be May 25th. Let's see, Paint, Sip, and Socialize right there in East Atlanta. So I'll be there. I'll have coffee samples, all that type of thing. We'll have some other great folks there, so make sure to check that out. April 20th, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be a guest on ABC 3340 in Birmingham, Alabama, Talk of Alabama. So during my time, I'll talk about my appearance at the Behind the Ink Book Festival, which comes up on April 22nd. But yeah, definitely tune in, catch me there. May 13th, go ahead and start marking your calendars. Louisville, Kentucky, May 13th. I'll be back at Fonte's Coffee with another book signing, and we'll have two major drops. I've kind of poured I can't say spilled the tea, but I've poured the coffee. But we'll have two major drops that are coming on May 13th, in addition to me doing a book signing there. So really, really excited on that. Wow, there's a number of other things that are coming up, so make sure just to stay on top of it by checking the social media. Remember, Facebook, author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, author A Snorton. You may always email me at authorasnorton@gmail.com. And when you add me on Instagram at Author Ace Norton. Click on the link in the bio that takes you to my press and media. Please check out all the archival interviews with some great outlets, great people. The work done on the Conversation Corner through the Stats Network, Live TV, looking at getting back there. My press and media kit, which will be updated probably next week because there's been a couple other, additions there. So definitely make sure to check me out. And as always, I tell you what, I appreciate everybody's support since day one back in February of 2017 to have published 4 books, to have recorded an audiobook series, which has 5 editions or 5 volumes, however you want to call it, to have been able to do book signings in places and spaces that I would have never imagined, and being in bookstores, book festivals, different book clubs, libraries. I tell you what, I'm grateful to each and every one of you for your support, and I will continue to be grateful to each and every one of you. And on the coffee end, don't forget, go to fontescoffee.com, scroll down to special collections, click on the image that has my profile. As a reminder, we have the medium roast right now, but when you do an online order of 60 or more, it's free shipping, so definitely take advantage of it. So right now it's a coffee bean, so you have to have a grinder, but medium roast. And then we're really doing 2 exciting things for May 13th that definitely hope that everybody can be a part of, whether you're there in person or online, and we'll talk about those things. So as we get ready to close out and tend to other things for the day, I hope this moment to kind of pause, check up, and check in is really helping people. I know it helps me. It helps me slow down my day and kind of pause and reboot, and I hope it does the same for others. And as I always say, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. So keep it victorious, keep it moving, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys real soon. As always, take good care and talk to you soon.